What's going on, Tommy?
Yo, Stephen, what's going on? What's going on, everybody out there watching this? I hope you are doing well. Nibble, nibble.
The actress Gina Carano was in Fox News, a Fox News article. Did you get a chance to read this?
Yes, I did.
This is badass.
Matter of fact, I did send it around to a few people who hadn't seen it.
Yeah, including me, and I appreciate that. I didn't even know this was a thing. I get so caught up, I'm out of the loop.
You know what? Here's the thing. They did an article on her because they wanted to talk about her and her, media backlash that she's having because she's in Star Wars and she's got a very how should we say it? Take no prisoners type of mentality when it comes to people like coming after her with the cancel culture and woke nonsense.
Yeah,
she just won't tolerate it.
Yeah, she doesn't.
No, not at all. And because Jay had been reaching out to her and managed to do a little interview with her, here he is getting a mention in Fox News because of it.
So, I mean, she's the first person really that's working at Disney Lucasfilm to talk to the Fandom Menace, the fans who have been upset, and speaking at that toxic minority that turned out to be a majority.
Yeah. It's absolutely hilarious though when you think about it, because all these people that are sitting there, they're bashing on the Fandom Menace. None of them, or almost none of them, probably know nothing about what most of the people in the Fandom Menace are really about. They've never bothered to watch any of their content. I mean, it was like that thing about, what was that, about a year and a half ago, where Jay went to go on somebody else's Star Wars, but all these guys, they were mostly, they're into the Raylo shipping and stuff like that.
Oh, around the galaxy. Yeah.
Let's forget about Raylo. Let's get what matters. Waylo. Okay.
That's right. Well, Wazy.
Oh, Wazy. Oh,
Wazy.
Waylo, Wazy.
I'm shipping myself and Daisy because she needs it. She needs some protection. These Raylos are crazy, and I promise, all of my Wazy art is not going to be lewd. All right, it's not going to be like nude drawings of her. It's going to be very respectful because
it's going to be classy.
Classy. Yeah. Now I can't draw for crap, but I can't wait to show you guys my Wazy art. So this is Mandalorian star Gina Carano speaks out about social media backlash over conservative anti-mask tweets. I don't even remember any conservative-like or anti-mask tweets that she's made, but the people that are calling her out are hypocrites, and they just kind of run with whatever narrative they want to run with. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It's feelings. It's about your feelings, Tommy.
No, it's always about the feelings. You know what? I wonder how their toes would feel if I had the collective nibble them the hell off.
Gina Carano opened up about facing criticism for the Star Wars community for her social media presence. The Star Wars community? The Star Wars community? Really? Or are we talking about fantivists? People that are involved in a fandom just to project their own activism. Because that's how I see it. I think it was the fantivists that are upset.
Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious when they sit there and they try to say that, because they suppose that this is the norm, that Star Wars fans don't know nothing about Star Wars whatsoever, and that they're all kumbaya singing and holding arms, and, they're all up for the Raylo. And you know what? 90% of the people that I've seen, they do not care for this. No. I've even talked with like hardcore Star Wars fans from like when I was a kid, friends of mine, who they like some of the Disney stuff, but they hate the majority of it. And they don't like the shit that's being pushed in it, especially like the Raylo shipping and just like the whole like sequel trilogy pretty much in its entirety. They can't stand it. I mean, what does that tell you, Art? So Star Wars community is only the people that go along with this narrative that only the new stuff and, the Force whamming is good?
Even the Raylos get attacked. Like we're finding out that people like Pablo Hidalgo, they apparently, rumor has it, that they go around.
He's going to choke on a ham bone.
That they go around the office and look at tweets and different posts from people who are upset and laugh at them. And apparently the Raylos are included in that. Like, so they don't even respect the audience that they generated. It's amazing that this culture is allowed to exist, and nobody at Disney is doing anything about it.
No, they wanted this so bad. They want to push for a new group of fans, a new diverse group of fans. And what did they get? They got Raylos.
The Mandalorian actress previously caught backlash from critics on Twitter after sharing posts critical of Democrats and mask wearing amid the pandemic or plandemic. The actress is rarely shy about her conservative-leaning beliefs on her social media, which led to calls for her being kicked off the Disney Plus original series. Yeah, by fantivists, not fans. not people in the Star Wars fandom. First off, Star Wars fandom is like 3 different segments at this point, because a lot of people, well, with the exception of the Legends, the expanded universe people who have just completely disowned Disney Star Wars, and they just stick to what they remember, what they love. And I totally understand that. But the fandom that you have now is like 3 sections. It is people like the Fandom Menace, who are actively fighting against identity politics and the racism and the horrible far left ideology that Kathleen Kennedy's company Culture presses. Then you have people that want to ignore all of that, just try to ignore the problem itself, and want to like what they can like about Disney Star Wars, which, like you said, old school fans that they only like so much and they just don't like a majority of it. And then you have your fantivists, and those are the people who get upset. People who don't buy your products, people who don't financially support you. They just want to bitch and talk about their genders and their genitals and their identifications, and then attack people online if they don't like their crazy gobbledygook nonsense of weird alternate universe bullshit.
And it's absolutely hilarious too, because if you get into a conversation with most of these people that sit there and they just like talk about how great the prequels are, or the sequels are, because it's got women power and it's got this and it's got that. If you ask them something about the movie, what do you really love about the sequels? Tell me one thing that you love. 90% of the time, they cannot say one damn thing because they've never even watched the movies. They know that it has some more diversity in it and it's got more women power in it, and that's it. That's all they know.
That's it. And then the people that they hire, like Leslie Headland, they don't have a favorite movie. Like, I don't have a favorite Star Wars movie. That's because you have not watched them. You are not a fan. Like, even somebody who comes into a position of creativity or, producing something from anything like Marvel or DC or like any universe, you should at least research the subject matter, get an understanding of what it means and what it means to fans before you begin working on a project. Like, Leslie Headland's not going to do that. She's going to go in there and just, her anti-white, racist, anti-male rhetoric. Like, that's what we're going to get. That's all we're going to get from her.
Man, it really is just a shame. You know what? I mean, when you look back when Disney first acquired it, I had a bad feeling about it.
You know what? I was optimistic. I really thought that the House of the Mouse, which has made so many films that I've really enjoyed in my life, we're going to do this right. But, we saw how that worked out. Speaking during a recent interview with YouTuber Drunk3PO, subscribe to Drunk3PO. He is the best of us, in my opinion. Carano talked about a myriad of issues, including the Star Wars fandom and the reaction her social media posts have received among topics. In the first part of the interview, Carano explained how infighting among Star Wars fans has led to some divisive opinions and fighting over the franchise's future. She took the topic to a broader place, noting that people in the online community in general shy away from discourse in favor of demoralizing or canceling people they disagree with. Yes, those are fantivists. Those are people that aren't interested in Star Wars. But I like how one thing I like about Gina Carano is that she's always trying to be positive, and she is not trying to shame anyone, and she's not trying to cancel anyone. And so she's trying to speak to the broader audience, like, I don't know, actors and people working in the entertainment industry should do. Like, she's an example, I think, of how to act.
Can you imagine that? Not jumping up onto a soapbox and using the franchise you're in as your hammer to bash people over the head? Imagine that.
Imagine that. It's almost a new concept. Revolutionary, Tommy. People need to be okay with having conversations, she told the host, with having difficult conversations and having different opinions. What's wrong with having a different opinion? Why does everyone need to have to go straight to demoralizing because they just don't think the way you did? It's just a myopic way of viewing things, but that's the echo chamber that fantivists live in, that like SJWs and people that work in Disney Lucasfilm. That's how they think. If you don't agree with us, you have to be canceled. And we see false narratives all the time. We have for years. We're seeing it with the way the Capitol protest that happened. We're seeing the false narrative being pushed. Like, I've been seeing, they're now being labeled as supremacists, and it's insane. It's cancel culture gone awry, and I blame a lot of it on entertainments who have stoked the flames, and social media like Twitter and Facebook, who created echo chambers and have stoked the flames of this kind of divisive rhetoric.
And then they continue to do it with their takedowns of certain channels and certain individuals because they just don't agree with what they're saying. They're going to wind up continuing doing it unless people speak up and speak out against them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to get darkest before the dawn. And I've seen a lot of people speaking up against this kind of stuff in the last couple of years. Hail the fandom menace. And as far as entertainments, but you're right. It's going to take a lot more. It's just people are going to have to lose money. I don't know. I don't know what. We're just going to have to stand up and refuse to kneel. Elsewhere in the interview, the former MMA fighter explained that she maintains a Twitter presence in an effort to not allow the critics and trolls to dominate the space. Yeah, that's about why I'm staying on Twitter too, Gina. My perspective on this is I've seen people get bullied off of Twitter on both sides, she said. I don't like bullying, and I don't like, and if I don't stay present, which I don't necessarily want to stay present that often, I want to make art. Art is my passion. But if I don't stay present, then other people win. Other people win in bullying people off of platforms, and there needs to be a more balanced platform. Absolutely. But, you're not going to get it with people like Jack Dorsey right in charge.
No, absolutely not. And it's kind of funny. Anytime they start to get another platform that is allowing people to say a little bit more than what other platforms, they want to take them down. I mean, these other platforms don't want to toe the line. And you know what? You have to be taken down. And they're talking about how ridiculous this is in a much smaller sense. But if you start looking at it in the broader terms, it's what a lot of what people in not only the Fandom Menace, but a lot of other groups have been fighting against. They've been fighting against this kind of nonsense, this kind of rhetoric, where if you do not agree with what a certain group says, you're in the wrong think and you need to be canceled. You need to be silenced. You need to be put in a corner and you got to have the dunce cap put on you. No. That's not reality.
That is not reality. And we should invite other perspectives, even if we don't agree with them, just so we can understand where someone's coming from, whether it changes our minds or our perspectives or reaffirms our own beliefs. We shouldn't create echo chambers. We shouldn't shut people down from their ability to speak. And I don't care how crazy they are, because, Tommy, I've said it 100 times before. I want the crazy people, the a-holes, right up front, loud and proud and center, so I can point to them and go, they are the problem. I really appreciate Gina Carano. I appreciate people like her in entertainment who are standing up and not backing down, standing up for their values, not being abrasive, in a world where you have this really extremist ideology on one side, pressing their narrative that's so extreme that even a whiff of anything that is not them or is not in their groupthink, you get labeled and canceled and trolled and bullied. And that's just awful. So hail to Gina Carano. Keep doing it, girl. The fandom is behind you. Even people who don't watch Disney Star Wars, and even because I run these circles, even people that don't watch Disney Star Wars support you as an actress, as an individual. So I think that speaks volumes about who you are as a person. And thank you.
The Guinea Pig Collective supports you, Gina. We think you're doing wonderful. The fact that you could sit there and take on these trolls and these monsters and these abrasive sons of bitches and still stay positive about it is a testament to your character. And we at the collective, we don't watch Disney. We've forsaken it because they have forsaken us. But man, we totally appreciate what you're doing for the business, and we wish you nothing but the best. And, all the support and love that we could possibly give, being little furry bastards that nibble off toes.
That is awesome, man. So you guys do not kneel out there. Be good to each other. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think. Thank you very much for being here. Peace.
Rock on, y'all.